UFC OKC, July 18th. That's already like 2 weeks away. Got my man Jose Delgado on the card. Jose, how we doing,
Yes,
bro?
sir. We are doing great, and I love being in a training camp. I love knowing that there's somebody out there preparing to fight me, preparing to take everything that I'm trying to get in this world, and I just love that feeling. So I'm exactly where I want to be.
I like that you've been like vlogging a lot. I feel like all your fans are kind of a part of your training camp. We've been seeing like training camp
Yeah,
stuff, day to day
oh,
stuff. So
nice.
like, how is that? Like, do you enjoy that aspect too?
It's fun, man. I enjoy it, and I enjoy the connection with the fans. Like I'm a fan first and foremost. Like I was just watching a Dominic Cruz vlog from the WEC days right now,
Yep.
just because I was like, it popped up and I was interested. I was like, what was his day to day leading up to the Brian Bowles title fight, you know? So that element of it is really cool. Just the timing and then just the being in training camp and being fully encompassed by training camp gets a little tough. But my lady helps out with the editing, and it's been a good time.
I know we talked after your last fight quickly, but I'm curious now. Like 2 weeks out from your next fight, that last fight, I imagine that win's a little extra just because of you coming off a loss before that. Does that make sense? Like, was that win very gratifying compared to normal?
Uh, um, it feels good to win. I want to perform to my standards, and I still don't think I accomplished that. So there was a level of frustration still on my end. But yeah, man, it feels good to win. It feels good to be, have 4 fights in the UFC, 5 fights with the company, Zuffa, when you consider the contender series fights. Like that to me is a very cool feeling. And then it's fighting Andre Philly, is fighting a vet,
Yeah.
you know. So that's sick.
But if it was a UD, would you feel better, or did you just need that finish?
I would have liked to fin. I just would have liked to fought to my standards, even if it was a decision, whatever it was.
Sure.
I think I could have performed better. I think I should have performed better, and that is where that therein lies the frustration on my end. But it was good, man. It was all of this is great learning experiences. There's so many things I'm able to steal from these guys, and 15 minutes of cage time is uber valuable.
Well, you get another chance to, I guess, right your wrong, so to speak. Feel like you
I agree.
performed up to your abilities this time, even though, in my opinion, winning UFC is crazy. But anyways, moving on there. Austin Bashi this time. I guess thoughts on Austin? Any prior encounters with the guy or anything?
Nah, I never met him, never seen him, never really thought anything. His stuff has popped up on my Instagram. I'm like, what the hell is this kid on? He's got a funky Instagram, but God bless him. Seems like he's having a good time.
You feel like, in terms of name value at least, you feel like this is a step down from Fili? Are you kind of surprised about that at all?
Um, a little bit. I wasn't really sure what my positioning was after the Philly fight.
Sure.
If I could look at things from like a bird's eye view, I feel like maybe I was brought in to spark Philly, and I got the fight was a lot closer than what maybe expectations were. So I was curious on what they gave me, and I didn't really have any real like. I obviously want to always shoot up towards the ranking side, shoot up towards the name value side, but it is what it is. I'm excited to fight a peer. I'm excited to fight somebody that I got no real feelings or thoughts prior to. That element of it, I really wanted after the Philly fight, and I got that for sure. This is a guy who's hungry. This is a guy who's young. This is a guy who wants everything I want.
Now,
So
he
I
hasn't
love that
fought.
element.
Didn't mean to interrupt you,
But
but
I don't know. You good?
he hasn't fought in a year, coming off of an injury
Yeah.
of sorts. So, I guess, do you believe in ring rust? Do you think that's going to affect him all here?
Mm, I think rigorous is semi-real, but not really, man. Like you can train your ass off. You can live the lifestyle, and you can mitigate a lot of that feeling of like, oh, my timing's off. My timing's this, and I don't expect that to be a huge issue. I know that from what I've seen, from what I've studied, man, this is a guy who lives in the gym. This is a guy who wants this badly. This is a guy who is super young. So I know the kind of growth you can make in these time frames. A year's a long time, but you can develop a lot of things. And maybe it was a blessing on his end. I don't know what his perspective on it is, but my job is to say fuck that, fuck every single whatever he can make it out to be. It's my world. I'm gonna make it what I want it to be.
Now, I watched an interview of his last week, and on MMA Island, shout out those guys. He was saying they asked him how does a fight go down. Obviously, Austin's the wrestler, but he sees one, a first round finish, and two, he wants to strike with you. I think he said at least he can strike with you, and he
Yeah,
hopes to prove that. So I guess like, what's your response to that?
he ain't straight. You know, I think he's young. I think he might have some naivete still to him still, and I'm sure his striking has improved immensely. I'm sure he feels like the fucking man in the gym now. He'll feel me. He'll feel me very quickly in that fight, and he'll go back to what he wants to go to. And his wrestling is very high level. He's very skilled. Like I'm not looking to take anything away from him, but he just doesn't want to stand with me. There's just no world where he does.
So you're gonna be ready for some shots then, I assume.
I expect him to shoot 100 times, and I'm prepared to stuff 100 shots. Yeah,
And I don't think any of this was smack talk on his end. He was just asking. I don't think he said
yeah.
anything rude. So when I ask this, just keep that in mind. Any sort of message you want relayed to Austin, anything about the fight, anything at all?
Nah, I don't really. I got no need to communicate with my opponents. Like everything, that's what I love about fighting. The communication is so much pure. Like words, I get it. Like this is a there's that element of promotion and all that jazz. But man, I love to fight and I love to showcase who I am in that cage. And I think every message I have is better said in there.
Poetic. I love it, bro. I don't know if you saw these new UFC rankings, the
Yeah.
Meta AI, but you're number
Yeah.
15. You made it. Thoughts on that?
I try to be cool guy. I try to be like, yeah, it's cool, it's AI's rankings and all that. It's whatever. But like two
It's
minutes
dope.
into that, 2 minutes into that, I was like, this is so sick. This is so sick. Like, what the hell, dude? Like, I've been wanting to be in the UFC for so long. It's been a childhood dream. I've been wanting to fight the best guys in the world. I've been wanting to be in the top 15, the top 10, the top five, to have that C next to my name. So this is just another step in that path, and it feels pretty damn sick.
With a win over Austin, now that you have a rank next to your name too, like you think your next few opponents, your next opponent, they're all going to be ranked guys now.
Yeah, man, that's the goal. I want the biggest names possible. I want to get inch my way towards that title shot. And now that I do have that top 15 moniker on my name, then it does feel like the pathway feels more than just inching now. Feels like we can take real good steps towards that path.
Last time we talked, you said obviously it's Austin Bashi, but you said Dan Ige, David Onama, Josh Emmett. Those three particular names are fights you want. I'm curious, like if all goes well against Austin here, those names you want. Anything else? Anyone else that sounds good too?
Ah, I'm just focused on Bashi right now, man. Those guys are all good. They're still up above me, so whatever makes sense afterwards. Maybe I'll put a little bit more thought into it on fight week. But yeah, just focus on Bashi, man. He's priority.
We can have these discussions in the post-fight interview.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And I know you're focused on Bashi, so I'm not going to say when do you want to return. We never know what happens in a fight. But
Yeah.
is there any part of you? I even wore the freaking Mexico
Come
shirt today,
on
bro.
now. Come
UFC
on.
Noche. Any party wants to get on that card?
Absolutely. I mean, how could I not? And I hear it's in my hometown, that'd be just incredible. I could hear the crowd right now. I promise you I can. So that's the goal. We're gonna come out of this fight relatively unscathed, and we're gonna jump right into that Noche UFC, and it'll be a fun little two-piece combination and put a real stake in this division.
Well, your division has a lot going on, and
Yeah.
I asked I don't remember who asked about this. I asked someone about
Uh-huh.
Alexander Volkanovski versus Movsar Evloev, and they're like, "Is that booked yet?" I was like, "I think so." No, it's somehow not
It's
officially
not,
booked yet,
dude. Makes no sense.
but that is the fight to make, right?
That's a fight to make. From my understanding, Volkanovski has always wanted to be an active champion. I haven't seen anything on his end that speaks to him needing more time. So I don't understand. He's out here kind of doing a small plea for the Justin Gaethje fight. We'll see, but man, that fight makes so much sense, and it's a fight that I think is adds a lot to Volkanovski's legacy from the standpoint of all right, that's a challenge. That's a challenge that
It's the best
most
guy. This
people
is like the next guy
it's the
up,
best guy in the division for sure. Yeah, so I want to see that happen, and I like Volkanovski in that fight. I think his feint game, I think his takedown defense game should be able to mitigate a lot of what Mosvar can do. So I don't see why they're waiting on that one.
And you're a featherweight, but you're like a bigger featherweight. I met you before. You're a big
Yeah,
dude. You think Volkanovski can have some success up 155 against Gaethje potentially?
Yeah, I mean, I think so highly of Volkanovski. The only thing with Volkanovski at this stage is father time, man. When is father time gonna really start rearing its head? That being said, Justin Gaethje's 30. They're similar in age. Gaethje might be older, to be honest. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I think so. Both those guys are so tough, and I never really put those two in my head. Like they just never made sense as a fight to make. But that fight would be so damn sick. It'd be wonderful. It'd be just utterly disgustingly violent. So I'd love to see it.
And obviously, I mean, Gaethje had a massive night. Another guy in your
Yeah,
division, Diego Lopez, had a massive night at the White
yeah,
House. Any way we see Diego Lopez get that shot over Movsar? Is that possible here?
brother. How are they gonna just be running Volkanovski and Lopez in the retirement home? Like, what are they doing? No, Evans. No, I hear he wants to go up to lightweight. We'll see if he goes up to lightweight. If not, then I'd love to chance have Lopez sooner than later.
And that White House card, I assume you watched as a fan. Was it as
Yeah,
crazy a spectacle for you as it was for me?
yeah, dude. I'm just hearing everything like you guys hear. So I'm like, all right, White House, cool, cool. Like, we'll see what it looks like. And then like you see them start to walk out. You see the jets flying through, and you're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I
Sick.
don't, how long have you been a fan of the sport?
I've
When
been
did you start
watching
really?
since I was, I mean, religiously for like 10 years, but I've been watching since I was like a kid, like Forrest Griffin
Yeah,
days. Loved Anderson
exactly.
Silva growing up. Yeah.
Perfect. So that timeline, man, could you ever picture this sport being where it's at now in the 2010s, in the THC video game era, in the prior to the Fox Sports when the prelims were on the Facebook? Like that element of it was insane as just a fan of this sport. And it was just so surreal to see all the still shots of the guys. Diego Lopez had a banger of a picture of him standing on top of that cage with the White House in the
Yeah.
backdrop. Like, man, that's legendary things, man. So shout out to the company for making that happen.
Perfect night for MMA. I absolutely
Yeah,
never thought it would get this far. So awesome that it did. But your card's stacked too. Need your opinion on the
yeah.
main event because Dricus Duplessis, Kamaru Usman, banging fight. Any idea who you think takes that one?
Banging fight. I would love Kamaru's jab, and I think Kamaru's jab could honestly just win him the fight. I've always picked against Dricus Duplessis, and he has always made a fool out of me and himself because the way that boy fights,
It's
goodness
crazy.
gracious, man. But it's effective, and that's all that matters. It's world championship caliber, and that's all that matters. So it doesn't really matter what I think of how it looks. The guy is effective, and the guy is huge. That's a ginormous middleweight going against former welterweight. Uh, I want Kamaru's jab to win just for the pure technicality of the sport. But it's gonna be a banger. It's gonna be a sick, sick fight. And there's so many fights on that card, man. I feel lucky to be a part of it.
Great card, man. I was trying to come out, can't make it work. I actually have to corner a couple of my boys fighting up here at a
Oh, right
regional
on.
show. So I'll be watching on my phone. Don't worry, bro.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah,
watching.
I guess.
I talked to our boy Mario Bautista yesterday, a mutual friend,
Yeah,
and asked him about camp and everything. He said, "You're a big part of it. You're a big part of his. He's a big part of yours." He
yeah.
also said, "You guys have been doing some like Cory Sandhagen mimicking in the gym. Like, have you been doing this at all? How has it been playing Cory Sandhagen?"
Yeah, I've been bleaching my abs, trying to give him that glow look. I know in that cage, the put the bright lights on him. There's no way that he won't be blinded by him for a little bit. So we're trying to mimic that look. Um,
You're going the environmental route too, not just the skills.
dude, we're all about it. 360 type of training camp over here at the MMA lab, man. We're real thinkers out here. Um, Nah, man, just giving him the looks, man. I'm a fan of Sandhagen, so for me, like, it's like, it's a pleasure to be able to utilize stuff that I've honestly have stolen from him for years. You know, me and Mario had a conversation after the Gaethje White House, just talking about the spectacle of it all and how cool it was to see, and how awesome it is to see a guy rise to the challenge, and to see the highest level of coaching, and Trevor Whitman
Mhm.
come up, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm facing that," and it's like, "Oh, what a privilege! Like, what a privilege it is for you to rise against that. We got the best training team in the world. We got the best coaches, and we get to go against another super team, a bunch of super minds over there in Colorado. with Mario going out there, and it's honestly a privilege. It's honestly a privilege to be able to compete against the highest level guys.
Well, you're a fan of Cory, and you're teammates with Mario. So, who takes it? Mario, Cory. How's that fight look?
Mario, man. This guy has been working his ass off since he got that debut. I remember when he got the call. I remember we were all at a team dinner 6 days before he went out there and fought Cory Sandhagen on short notice, and we were like stoked for him, man. We were so proud for him, so proud of him, so proud of the way he performed on short notice, and he's been so hungry to get that one back. So I know that this one is years in the making, and he's put in the work, and he's ready to go out there and take out Cory Sandhagen and make a run for that title.
Big things happening down there in Phoenix, man. Very, very excited to see it. July 8th. Well, I guess it starts with Mario July 11th, then you
Yeah.
July 18th. So excited for those 2 weeks. Jose, before I get you out of here, as always, anything for all your fans, the mic is yours.
Man, thank you guys for coming along on this ride. It truly means the world to me. From being a quiet, timid kid to having all these cameras, having all this exposure from fighting, I was always a little concerned of like how I'd feel with it, and it's just felt like a blessing. It feels like a blessing to see so much love and support on the comments, so much love and support in person, and I'm truly grateful for it. Thank y'all.
Jose, my man, kick some ass. Best of luck, best of skill. We'll talk after that win, all right?
Let's get it.